Well, I'm out on the Revolt today. I wanted to be out on the Fastroad. Unfortunately, it's still not working properly. It's been a bit frustrating really, because nothing major, but I've had lots of niggles. Little things going wrong. Things that have meant that it's spent the bulk of the last 2 months in the shed. I've mentioned it before in a couple of videos ago, but I'll go over it again for those of you who didn't see that. The first thing was when I decided to upgrade to 105, and I mean that wasn't anything wrong with the bike, but it kept the bike off the road for a couple of weeks while I got all the bits together and figured out how to do it, and one thing and another. Aftermath of Storm Agnes. It's a lovely day. I wanted to film today, even though I'm not on the fast road, which was going to be the subject of today. But yeah, this is what we have in Britain. Our gravel riding is more often than not mud riding, and we've had very few days where it hasn't rained this year. But anyway, back to the story. So I did the 105 upgrade and it was marvellous. And it really just made the bike feel so much better. I mean, it's no faster, there's nothing wrong with the sort of group set that it came with, but it just seemed more precise, quicker, shifting. So I took it out for a little test ride. And then I found I'd made the rookie mistake and routed the chain incorrectly. So I sorted that out and I went out again. And it was even better than before. The noise had gone. It was wonderful. Well, while I was out on one of the test rides, I had a puncture. And it didn't seem too bad. The sealant. This is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Note to self. If you're going to stop to climb over a tree, make sure you're in the right gear to start off. So I went out on a test ride. It was raining, and there was I knew I'd had a puncture because handlebars went white from the sealant. So that was fine. But then on the next test ride, the tyre started leaking again and the sealant wasn't doing anything. It was the same puncture, which I thought had sealed, but clearly it hadn't. So that was a bit frustrating. I made it home, but only just. And so I I went and got a plug, little muck-off kit. They come with a little tool to push the plug in and pull it back out, and one thing and another. And I did that, and it was a lot worse after that. As soon as I started pumping it up, it went straight back down. And the tyres had been on there for a while, and I'd already switched from front to back. So I decided it was probably time for new tyres. I don't want to get too political, but the joys of living in Brexit Britain are that you just can't get anything. You have to take what you can get, basically. I mean, obviously you can get things, but not when you want them. So I wanted to get some Terreno dry 33mm, and you couldn't get them. 40mm, no problem. 33, forget it. Of course, the day that you need 40s, you won't be able to get them. And there'll be loads of 33s. So I've been buying up tyres when I see the deals, because they are so expensive. So, the Fastroad was off the road for another couple of weeks while I was searching for tyres. And in the end, I decided to put on a pair of Terreno Zeros that I had earmarked for the trek. And at the same time, I decided to change the brake calipers to a set of Shimano GRX that I got for an extremely good price. But I'll tell you about them when I'm actually out riding the Fastroad. So I went out for another test ride with the new brakes and the new tyres, and another problem occurred. The free hub seized, and as I'm sure you're aware, fixed wheels and derailleur gears don't work very well together. So I took the wheel to the bike shop, and as I mentioned in the previous video, it's a job I haven't done before, and I was a bit nervous of taking the cassette off and dropping it and not knowing where the spacers went and things like that. But if I'd known it was going to take them 10 days, I would have done it myself. Anyway, when it was ready, I went and got the wheel and I put it back in the bike, and the wheel's wobbling. Cones need adjusting. It's annoying really, because they've just changed the free hub. Surely they would have looked at that at the same time. In fact, it's probably the way that they put it back together that's caused it. So it's going to have to go back to the shop again. And I'm fortunate that I've got 3 bikes, because if I just had the one, I would have had an extremely frustrating couple of months. And as I've mentioned many times before, bike reliability simply isn't good enough. I think the industry treats us with contempt. 11 years Shimano have been selling dodgy cranks. 11 years. Imagine if that was the car industry. the car industry, there would have been a massive class action lawsuit, and they would have had to have paid millions in compensation. All Shimano has done is offer to replace cranks that are out of warranty. And the industry continually pushes prices higher and higher and telling us that there's new great technology and they have to charge this amount of money, but yet they're selling us rubbish. And it's not just Shimano, they're all doing it. Carbon fibre frames that crack and all sorts of things. I mean, you only need to watch Mapdeck or Ambini to see how bad things are. And it's not just the cheap stuff that goes wrong. Some of the expensive stuff has serious quality issues too.